my gosh. What's up there? Look at this beautiful panel here. Hey, everybody. What's up? This is hey. Joe, you better say hey. You bet. I can't stand him. What's up? Listen, y'all, this is the Fly Nubian Money where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your money today. We talk about power, controversy, and the cost of staying on top. Now, first up, we're going to talk about Drake. Drake versus Kendrick Lamar and the NFL. The internet is on fire with rumors that Drake is preparing to sue the NFL for defamation after Kendrick Lamar called him a pedo on national TV in front of hundreds of millions of people. If y'all didn't know that they had beef before, if the world didn't know that they had beef before, they certainly knew after the Super Bowl. Did you guys know, by the way, that the halftime show was the highest rated halftime show in the history of the NFL? People came on just to watch the halftime show and then logged back off. Did you guys know that? Were you guys aware? Well, so is this bad for, he did this from hundreds of millions of people. If this lawsuit is real, it could change the future of rap battles forever. Is Drake standing up for his name, or is it just a bad move that could backfire? And what does this mean for Kendrick Lamar, the rap industry, and even the NFL's role in entertainment? Then we have this motherfucker, Kanye West, who is proving once again that controversy sells. He's now selling Swastika t-shirts for $20. But an influencer, one of our own, baby sis, says that there's more to the story. Is Kanye's truly untouchable? Is he? Or is he playing a dangerous game? These aren't just rap beefs or publicity stunts. These are billion dollar business moves. So the question is, how does Kanye and Drake turn controversy into Black power? Or maybe just power? And when does the backlash finally cost them? We're going to get into it, y'all. We're going to get into it. But before we start the conversation, I have the most wonderfulest, most amazingest, most dopest panel on the planet. Whoa, this chick right here, who's this? She is the dopest producer, actress, singer, dancer, triple threat, Miss Tierra, Miss Black Hollywood. Hey, girl, hey. And then over here, we got Miss Vanessa Gopal. You know what, y'all? I think she has a master's in public policy. She ain't got no AA. She ain't got no bachelor. This chick got a master's in public policy. And so she gonna break all the way, like all the legalities and stuff down. See, we had to have this. We had to have a very diverse panel so we can really get into it. And then over here, we got the B.Big Coach. What? The B.Big Coach. Hey, the B.Big Coach. She gonna therapize all of us because she always got to bring us back down to reality. Because these ones over here, they just be talking shit. But she always has to bring us back to reality. And then we have the man on the panel, Dr. Joe Corley. He's actually gonna get us in check too, because he's gonna bring a male perspective, which is probably gonna be, maybe a little bit different than the rest of us. We'll see. Let's see what Joe has to say. I don't know. But let's get into it. Who actually, and for the people in the audience, who actually watched the Super Bowl, like the entire thing without just the halftime show? And then who only watched the halftime show? Because like I said, the halftime show was the highest rate, bigger than Michael Jackson, bigger than Usher, bigger than Dr. Dre. The Kendrick Lamar was the biggest halftime show of all times, highest rated. And it's so funny when you see white people, oh, this sucks. Oh, they're looking like this. And then black people, where I was at, it was like, so it was totally different experiences. But who watched the halftime show and who actually watched the whole entire Super Bowl? Dr. Joe, let's start with you.
I went back later because everybody was talking about the halftime show, and I watched it. But I didn't watch the halftime show. I didn't watch the Super Bowl at all. It's very well known. I took a knee with Cap.
Facts. We the only two sitting on the knee, Joe. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ain't got back up yet, so
we ain't got back up.
Okay? Your knee still on business, huh, Tierra? Did you watch it live or what you do?
I did not. I'm still, like Joe said, I'm still. I know black people forgot because we just got. We forget. But I ain't forgot. I ain't forgot to take this knee. So I'm. Like Joe said, I'm still kneeling. And when I heard that the NFL was taking in racism off their end zone, it just made me even further be like,
Yeah.
I'm not watching that. And Donald Trump was going to be there. I didn't like it.
But
So I
you
was
missed
like, I'm
all
not
the
watching it.
things. You missed Donald Trump getting booed. So like,
Ooh, did he? Oh,
yeah,
but y'all gonna tell me today. Y'all gonna tell me what
yes,
happened. So it's cool. I didn't
yes.
have to watch it, but I did check out the Super. I did go back and watch the Super Bowl halftime show on YouTube.
Okay, so you didn't watch it live. Okay, what about you, Vanessa? Did you watch it? Did you watch the entire Super Bowl, or was you standing on knee business?
I was honestly just waiting for the halftime show, and I wanted Philly to win because I like their black quarterback with his
Me
beautiful
too. The
black
all black, all black, all
wings,
black.
right,
Yeah.
right. So I like Philly in there, but yeah, I mean, Philly was stomping out KC, and it got kind of boring. So after the halftime show, I tuned out, but I was definitely there for the halftime show, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Kendrick did his thing, West Coast, West Coast.
Yes.
All right.
All right, B dot big dot coach. Did you watch it live or did you watch the replay?
I watched it live. I watched the whole thing because I wanted, being from New York, I wanted Philadelphia to win. I'm a huge supporter of Jalen Hurts. It was time for the Kansas City Chiefs to kind
Oh
of
my God.
sit it down. So I was so happy, like just to be able to support and see it all the way through because Kansas City has a way of always coming back. So you really couldn't get bored with it because they have a history of being able to come at the end and change things up, but they didn't, and that was good. And so I watched all of it, and that
You a
was
football fan?
I'm I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, I like football, and that was the highest rated NFL show too. Like that was the highest rated Super Bowl period. Like 126 million people tuned in. So it was just highly rated overall, and it probably had a lot to do with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Well, I watched it live. I went to a little shindig, but I just went for the men. So I'm gonna just keep it real. And I watched it because I was watching. I needed Kansas City to lose because they keep beating out my Niners. Like no, so I was ready, and I have a friend who I couldn't take another KC win. So I was definitely going for it. Now let me ask you a second question. This is part two of the question. When you watched it, before you seen all the explanation of what was really going on, did you understand? I know you couldn't understand all the symbolism because they really had to break it down. But did you understand, some of the symbolism that was happening? Did you understand that Samuel Jackson was Uncle Sam? At the time when you were watching it live, before you got the commentary, because I know for me, I was just, hey, but after I went back and there's a game. So I didn't, notice live because I was too just into the song. Vanessa, did you notice the symbolism initially?
Not initially all of it, but for sure, the way that Samuel L. came out and he played Uncle Sam, I thought that was genius, especially when they said, "You too loud, you too ghetto," and then he immediately went into squabble up. Like so,
Yeah.
and I missed the coordination of how they did the flag with the colors and the dancing initially, right?
Yeah.
And I went back and got to see that. But I definitely knew once we saw Samuel L. and he was saying that, I was like, oh, he about to send a message. And he opened it up with saying, "You picked the right time, but the wrong guy," letting you know off top, I'm not going at gunpoint. So, I mean, I love Kendrick. Tierra knows Kendrick can do no wrong in my eyes. So, yeah, I loved all of it and the breakdown. But no, initially, not everything. I didn't pick up everything because I was like you, Constance. I was bopping and getting it in and
I was
having
sea
fun.
walking over there. I had to
Yeah,
represent the West. So,
yeah.
I was showing out, I was doing all the things. What about you, Felice? Did you notice the symbolism?
I noticed the red, white, and blue, and all the black people in the red. So I noticed the flag. I did notice Uncle Sam. I noticed Serena Williams. So I noticed those obvious ones. But when I went on the internet and I saw people breaking it down, like the games that they had, I didn't get that piece. So
because they didn't show the camera at that angle. Like I didn't see the camera at that angle really, but maybe I was just
they did like you saw like the games and different things and the different pockets that they were in, and he's absolutely right. And then my daughter, she was breaking it down even further for me. Like she went back into the history, and like when she shared that, really he should have left Kendrick Lamar alone. She was like, he was asleep, spending time with his God. And he should have left him alone. That's what he should have done. So when she gave me the history, like it just really was like, you know, when you know the history of everything, and when you saw how people were breaking it down, when you realize his genius, that he probably is savant or something, like, like it's just brilliance to see that brilliance, and that's what people missed. Like they got all caught up, but they missed the brilliance of this man.
Yeah, that's the thing I love. And then I'm going to ask you two who went back and seeing, did you guys get the cheat code and you guys kind of, got the answers to the question, or did you know what it was? But we're going to talk about it when we come back from commercial.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
Who said my sis didn't have bars? Who said my sis didn't have bars? You got to know to grow. Flynubianmoney.com. All right, so the two of you, did y'all get the cheat code, or did you like just go in like real, like virgin, like the rest of us? I'll start with you, Tiara.
Me. No, I was virgin. I didn't, Lauren was like, oh, we gotta watch it, Mom. We gotta watch it. I said, okay, because she is the biggest Kendrick fan. So we watched it together, and well, actually, she had already seen it, so she was like, you need to see it. So I just was watching, and I was like, I mean, and then I kind of was like everybody else, like if you're expecting, I didn't see all the angles, I couldn't see the controllers. All I saw was him with the mic, and I was like, I got Samuel, and I got there was just dancers. I was just like, okay,
yeah.
Right. I get it. But when you said it was what he was saying, like the revolution is about to be televised, basically, and all of the things, right? So I caught some of those things, but I also know that Kendrick also takes the moment to make it a moment. Like that's just who he is in his artistry. Then we went back and watched him at the Grammy. He's always going to make a statement. So I knew that there was a statement being made, even though I was watching it like from one angle. Again, it was just I didn't see the controller.
Right? Yeah.
And, and then Sony owns the controllers. All the things. It was like, okay, I see what's going on. All right.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, I don't know anybody who sat there and was in the moment watching the Super Bowl who actually like, oh yeah, I know he talking about, I think everybody had to really analyze. But Joe, did you get the cheat code when you ended up going back and watching?
I didn't know all that stuff was going on. So I went back and watched it, I think like right after the Super Bowl. So all those cheat codes and all that stuff hadn't really got onto the internet yet. So, and I really wasn't going to watch it at all until I heard Serena was out there. So I was like, okay, Serena's out there, I'm going to go watch it. That's really all I saw. I didn't get nothing else. I mean, to be honest, I'm not the hugest Kendrick fan anyway. So I don't never really be understanding. I guess, I look around, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm just not smart enough to get it. Cause I don't always get it, but I'm gonna go back and look at one of those broken down posts on Instagram and see if I can get all the symbolism involved. I mean, if it's important, but I'm not looking for it. I'll be honest with you.
Let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you have to have a certain appetite for Kendrick Lamar all the time. You got to be in the mood for Kendrick. I don't know, Vanessa don't, but when I'm listening, so I understand. Sometimes I got to be in the mood to be like, okay, I'm gonna do Kendrick Lamar. My daughter does not. She be like, anytime.
Mine
But
too.
but I understand. I initially, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I said, now, if this would have been Drake, Drake got more like singy hits because in my mind, I'm thinking that's what the Super Bowl is about.
The
Like
entertainment.
commercial, the yes, and the commercial hits and how many songs people can sing along with you. And I was like, does Kendrick have that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, outside of like they not like us, but
Yeah.
he showed me that it doesn't matter because as long as A minor is a thing, people gonna
A
chant.
minor. Now let me
I-
ask you this, because there's so many things I want to ask you, but let me ask you this, because people was up in arms about Cash Money and Lil Wayne, and for me, and I was like, who wants to see Lil Wayne on the Super Bowl? And he was crying that he wasn't on. The Super Bowl has never been about like just because it's in New Orleans, like we got to have New Orleans. They had Harry Connick Jr. That's all y'all New Orleans. That's all y'all needed. Let us see she really from New York. That's all y'all do. But like they act like it's not a rap concert. Just because it's in New Orleans, it doesn't mean you have to have like. Did you guys feel some kind of way by them not having Lil Wayne on there, Vanessa? Did you think that they should have?
Absolutely not. I didn't feel a kind of way. I mean, if you look at the Lil Wayne that we grew up with, and the Lil Wayne that's now, I mean, when Lil Wayne talks, I don't even understand what he's saying half the time. He seems
Right.
incoherent or drugged up, if we're being honest.
Right.
But with Kendrick, what I thought was absolutely dope is I thought that Kendrick brings a realness to hip hop that is unlike anything in current culture. He actually talks about things that matter. His messages are actually deep. Like he's actually trying to uplift people, trying to educate people, and do it in a way that's witty, still cool, and but still uplifting. He really doesn't care about fame. Dr. Felice mentioned, he was chilling with his family, and then Drake decided to wake a sleeping giant, and so if you know hip hop, right, then you can respect the artistry, the deep thoughts, all the double entendres. Like this man is genius. So I think that when I'm looking at the Super Bowl and and he's so black, right? So when I see him
Unapologetically, baby.
unapologetically
Unapologetically.
black,
Yeah.
like he's not looking to be stamped by white people or none of that. He's like, this is who I am, this is what you get. You know who I'm for. I'm unapologetic about it. And I really love that about the whole TDE camp, if I'm being honest. But I just feel like the Super Bowl, it was such a great moment when you go back and you dissect it from Serena C walking, because it's like y'all always trying to tell us how to behave, how loud we are, what to look like, what we can and can't do. And you see the game of America. That's what the game of America is. So like I think he brought that, and anybody that looks at that and dissects that, can take that away. That like, listen, we gonna do us at the end
Yeah.
of the day. There's one specific place in there when I went back and watched where I saw a group of black men. It was like the Bay Area kind of like vibe, and Kendrick was in front of them. And then if you hear him, he's like, Uncle Sam's getting mad at him, and he's like, deduct one life. And that's
Mm.
literally how they do it. It's like, oh, it's a group of black men just hanging out. How can we break this up? How can
I
we
gotta go back
kill
and look
one
at
of
that,
them?
girl. Listen,
Yeah,
whoa, okay. Let me go
yeah.
back. Go ahead. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
so I could go. He knows. Listen, I'm with intelligent hip hop. I'm with
Yeah,
I'm with
I love
Kendrick. I
that.
don't
And
like
can
this
we also
watered down.
mention, and can I also mention that, Vanessa spent some time working in the music industry and toured with Kendrick and them. So she has an extra layer
Okay.
of love for
Yeah,
Kendrick
so nobody
Lamar.
knew, and that's
So she didn't
actually good
mention that.
context.
She didn't say that. She spent months and months and
What?
months on tour with SZA
That's
and
good
Kendrick.
context to
Yeah,
have.
what makes it is because this all he did was read. So you got these hip hop artists that coming out, you don't understand what they saying, they off lean. This man don't smoke, don't drink. All he does is read. Like he is so respectful of hip hop and rap culture that anyone, in my opinion, that don't like him, you just don't like hip hop. Cause hip hop ain't never been dumb or drugged out or
I love
man, lyricists back in the days were smart. Hip hop was
Yep.
smart. You had to be smart to be a lyricist.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from.
I love
Yeah.
that. And thank you for that insight. That actually even puts a more layer for me, a more layer of respect that I have for Kendrick is to know how smart he is. Because you don't see that. You definitely don't see it. Everything is dumbed down. And the thing that they're promoting is the dumbed down hip hop. So it's refreshing that somebody was able to see through the cracks of all that dumbness and like just be the biggest thing in the world. So hopefully the powers that be will follow suit and start promoting what we know to be true of what people really, really want. Tired of that stupid ass shit.
Facts.
Black
Can I ask
Hollywood.
a question, Constance?
Mhm.
Did you guys see that that the performance is banned from the NFL supposedly because the guy or the dancer had a Palestinian flag,
Oh, I
and
didn't see that.
Kendrick and them didn't know, and I guess he pulled it up from under his shirt and started running back and forth,
Yep.
and they didn't know that he was gonna do that, and so he was just running up and down the field with a flag, and then they had to
Were the
like,
dancers?
yes,
Yeah.
and they
It's
had to like,
Sudan and Palestine. Yep.
yeah,
Oh,
Sudan and Palestine. So
he wasn't supposed to do that, so he was out of formation.
he was out of formation, but I'm actually glad it even furthered the agenda to me because I thought it was on purpose. And
Yeah.
so I don't know if they went back and they said they banned the performance is what I read, but I wonder if they definitely banned him from NFL. And I'm pretty sure he like, I don't care. I just, my point is, the point is made. Like, I'm gonna take one for the team and get out there and do
Wow.
it in front of all these people. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a
Wow.
thing as well.
So speaking of intelligent hip hop, J. Cole, he bowed out, of the beef because when Kendrick came out, he was like shots fired at Drake, shots fired at J. Cole, and J. Cole said, listen, first he came and he was like, you know what, this shit is whack. Do you think, and for you guys in the chat, do you think that he was scared? Do you think he dodged a bullet, or do you think he was just like way above that? What do you think, Dr. Felice?
I think he used wisdom, and I think Drake needs to follow suit, right? Like, squash the beef, right? There's a thing called humility, and there's nothing wrong with it. Use this as an opportunity to grow. Use this as an opportunity to have dialogue, real dialogue. Use this as an opportunity to speak truth, around some of these things, but squelch it. Like, try and rise up and be the bigger man and say, look, my bad. I'm sorry I woke you up. And let's squelch this. Let's be friends again. Let's not.
Oh, they'll never be friends.
Or not even friends, but let's be cordial. Let's treat each other like two respectable men. And let's move this thing along. Like, the suing and the stuff, it's just going to prolong it. I don't think it's going to help Drake in the long run. I really don't. I don't think it's going to feed or subside the truth. The truth is that Kendrick Lamar is a brilliant man, period. And thank you, Vanessa. I stand behind you 100% what you said. I grew up with hip hop. I grew up with the KRS-Ones and the Public Enemies, Sister Soldier, who was dropping knowledge, right?
Yeah,
No more commercialization. And we had a platform where people who didn't like it because they weren't entertained, those people don't read. And so if you start going back to the basics, just learning how to read, expand your mind, grow. People were uncomfortable. And I said, I did a post this morning saying, let's lean into the discomfort and see what that means, right? You felt uncomfortable for a reason, and why? Why were you uncomfortable? And it has something to say about you, not Kendrick. And so if people can just kind of step aside and just really dissect the bigger meaning, like, he wasn't even trying to cast shade. He was just trying to educate. And he used this platform that we don't normally get to educate people about the plight, that what's going on in America, because if it affects us, it affects everybody. And so you just can't come from us, because when you come for us, you wind up paying, right? When you come for us and you put drugs in our community, who winds up becoming the addicts? So when you come for us, you come for the whole thing. And so he wasn't just educating. He was literally making a statement saying, if you want to save America, get educated. So
I love that.
Oh my gosh. So
girl, listen, you always can bring us back. And I think it's interesting. We about to go to break, but I do think it's interesting that Kendrick has always been brilliant, just like you said, right, Vanessa? And what got him this much notoriety was a rap beef. But he took this opportunity with this rap beef that just went crazy to really get in there, because they ain't promoting positive rap. They're not promoting intelligence, but to really get in there. Oh, fooled ya. And now we got a message. I love that shit. Let's go to commercial.
I know you're busy. You got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
I love it. She coming to say y'all. Coming to say y'all. Y'all better get on flynubianmoneyclub.com, baby, because she coming to say y'all. Now, Joe, there's a lot of white people up in arms. And they were saying, it's not fair. They didn't DEI white people. There was not one white person on the stage. What you got to say to them white folks that was mad that they ain't had no white people on stage?
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm not the biggest Kendrick fan, and I really wasn't trying to tune in to watch that. But when I started seeing the white people online reacting to it, I started to fall in line. Like, man, why is this making white people so uncomfortable? Like
they were incensed.
Yeah, they were in there. Yeah, that part right there was kind of what made me tune in and pay attention more. And it's the same old. They cry one way and behave another way, and you just get sick of that shit, man. I'm sick of it. Like I told y'all at the top of the year, I'm not going back and forth with these people at all.
I'm going back
at all.
We're hiring based on merit, and black people just dance better.
Yeah,
right.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've taken DEI off the table, and we're hiring black dancers that can dance.
Straight up.
I loved every
merit
bit of that.
based.
I loved it. Hey, really quick. I want you to do something. Say Drake. I heard you like him. Let me just see that real quick. Real quick.
Say Drake.
Say Drake. Say Drake. I hear you like I'm young. I never go to sell Black One to any.
You know what? Wait, what's the meme that could come out of that? You know how they be saying memes every time I'm gonna play this. What's the meme that could go with that, man? Oh my God. Okay. So you know what? My baby sis, I love her to. Oh no, this is not that one. Okay, let's do the breakdown. No, we got a breakdown of the Not Like Us, right? We got a breakdown of the NFL video that we can watch real quick. No, we don't got no video for this segment. Okay, all right, we ain't got no video for this segment. Okay, my bad. All right, so really quick.
Didn't we already watch it?
No, we didn't watch no video.
We got an NFL video, don't we? I'm the producer here. I believe so. I thought we just
Months of back and forths between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, things just got even more intense. Kendrick shocked the world by performing Not Like Us, his viral Drake diss track, live at the Super Bowl halftime show in front of millions. And now, Drake is reportedly gearing up for legal action. During the show, Kendrick performed some of his most brutal bars aimed at Drake. But there was one moment that had everyone talking. He left out a certain word from the controversial line, certified bleep, and let the entire stadium chant it instead. That move alone sent social media into a frenzy, and according to reports, Drake is now suing Universal Music Group for defamation, claiming the song makes false factual allegations that damage his reputation. So, could Kendrick actually be in trouble? Legal experts say defamation cases in the US are hard to win, especially with free speech protections. But one thing is clear, every time Kendrick performs Not Like Us, he risks another lawsuit. And let's be real.
Let me ask you a question, Joe. What is a false factual, a factual false? What is that? That sounds like a positive negative.
My degrees are in I got 3 or 4 degrees and none of them in English literature. Okay, I don't know what the hell that means.
But I do. Okay, but here's the question for Joe, right? So like because I do think, I mean, I think there is something to say about, I'm not mad at Drake for suing anybody, because I feel like being on a platform where somebody is telling hundreds of millions of people that you are a pedophile and not having any evidence for real. Like, that wasn't the text message or DM that was sent does not signify that this man was. And I see why he's upset. That's not something that I would have wanted to happen. If it was me, I would sue everybody. Everybody, it wouldn't even matter. So my question for you is like, in this situation, is it okay for, I mean, is this just a beef, or is it okay that they can say things like this and, and be falsely accused in public like this? Is this
Good
defamation?
question.
So let me ask y'all this to counter that question. Is Drake a pedophile? Is he a certified pedophile?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever been accused of being a pedophile?
No.
Okay. So I have. So I can tell you I don't like that. I don't respect that. If you don't have the evidence to prove or back that up, I don't respect that. That's just me. I mean, maybe that's coming from a personal place, but going on like all these platforms and the biggest platform in the world and calling this man a pedophile and not knowing, and we don't know for sure if he is one. If he is one, by all means, call him a pedophile over and over and over again.
I don't believe he is.
But saying that over and over again, I would be incensed. Nobody likes to hear that. If you are not actually a pedophile, it is not fun. It is not pleasant. It is not to be. And I don't play with white people like that. I don't play with white people like that, because somebody could take that up and really start digging to this man or find something. It's just too much. And you don't need evidence. I can tell you firsthand, you don't need evidence to get somebody caught up in some court situations over some shit. Like, you don't need evidence.
Yeah, you just need accusations. That's it.
So I personally, I don't respect that. I understand that, there's everybody's a fan of Kendrick and all of that, but I don't respect that.
So let me ask you this, Vanessa, as a Kendrick aficionado, is that going too far? Or is everything on the table when it comes to rap beat?
I feel like, I mean, rap is notorious for, I mean, when you look at, battling, I mean, rap can get gritty, right? It's notorious for rap battling. So I feel like when you look at Drake saying, oh, the father of your children is your manager, or he's talking about this man's wife and his family. And, I feel like it was going blow for blow. So, I mean, if it was a situation where we didn't have several songs going back and forth, but I mean, Drake talk hella shit about Kendrick. So I just feel like you kind of open yourself up when you just look at rap battles, right? Even when Drake was battling with Meek Mills, I mean, he said stuff that wasn't true. So I just feel like, right, where do we draw the line? You can't in one
It didn't
scenario
go
say,
this
well, this,
commercial.
yeah, but you can't
Yeah, but
say
he
this is
can't help
okay.
that. He can't help that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
but I feel like
no
you can't.
no diss record has gone this
Is that his fault?
None.
Well,
I don't.
I feel like,
No, but I'm
what,
just saying
bottom
it hasn't.
line,
I'm sorry, Vanessa.
don't fuck with Kendrick.
I mean,
Drake went with it either. You know what I mean? Like, talking about that, man. I don't. But I understand. We living in a different time. You know what I mean? What rap used to be and the climate that we used to be in. Like, some of these things weren't really out of bounds, but we just living in a different space right now in a different climate. That's just how I personally feel. So I don't respect either. Honestly, if you ask me my opinion, I'm taking J. Cole over both of them. But but I just don't respect neither one, the way neither one of these guys is moving. I definitely don't respect how Drake is responding to it. I don't appreciate that at all.
The whole thing.
Yeah, because I mean, he also said
Yeah.
Kendrick was a domestic, like he was domestic, committing domestic violence. I mean, he
He
said
did
some
say that.
things that could have,
But-
if his wife was like, okay, we're done. He talked about him cheating. He talked about domestic violence, about his kids ain't his. I mean, so I just feel like it got very personal.
He just had the bigger hit. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do? Is it his fault
Yeah.
because he had a bigger hit?
Yeah,
With-
when it went viral, it went crazy. When it went viral, it went crazy, and I think that changes the game a little bit. Because it's like a rap beef is one thing. The rap battles, underground rap. I'm a fan of all of that, like battle rap and all the things, right? But it's like once it goes commercial and literally the babies. I'm talking about my 3-year-old niece or my 3-year-old little cousin was like, A minor. Like, I think it just changes something. Like, we gotta, maybe there's some, I don't know about regulations, but it's just, it changes things. It changes it for your reputation and you being able to live the life you were living. Because let's not act like Drake didn't give us 15 years of excellence. And one hit can just knock him off and change his whole life. You would be pissed if that were you.
It's sad. And I'm going to ask you, Dr. Felice, because, you're going to get us all together. It is sad. Did Drake put himself in this position to be the target? Because Drake did give us 15 years of excellence, right? Drake had, he had the hits. Drake couldn't miss. But one of the things you said, Tiara, was that Drake had an album that came out in the summer that nobody noticed. I didn't know. I don't know. But then, it was like blow for blow. So is it really Kendrick Lamar's fault that his just went viral? Because if you could talk about somebody's kids and somebody's wife and all that, then it's like free game. And I know
pedophile though, Constance.
So this is what I say: do whatever you're willing to pay the price for, right? If you pay the price on the end of it, by all means, have your way. We live in a country with free speech. We live in this country, and that's what it means, right? Does it make it right? I don't know who's going to be the judge and jury, but don't do anything you're not willing to pay the price for. And I also believe, and I always go back, we all, whether you're famous or you're not, we all have a responsibility of how we handle people. How we lead people is huge, and how we handle them. And so, we can justify it, in the name of Blackness and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, we all going to meet our creator, and we're going to have to answer for everything and how we treated humanity. And so you just want to be careful. And if you're willing to pay the price, by all means, do you. That is your right. But I believe that we all matter, and that we all have a responsibility of how we lead people and how we help them, the way we carry ourselves. Everything matters. And it's all a ripple effect, because people are like, well, I don't matter. Yes, you do. You do matter, and how you treat people, how you treat your neighbor, how you treat the stranger. And so that's just my take.
What I can't get with is that there's all this going back and forth, and everybody loved Drake. I don't know anybody who didn't love Drake at one point, and now everybody has turned against him. All the features that he had, and all the people that loved Drake, and all the people who was down for him, now he has nobody. Now, on one hand, I can't respect the fact that you're going to start a beef, but now you're going to sue. That's kind of like, that's kind of bitch assness. But like everybody who turned against him based upon this rap beef, that shit wasn't cool. That's what I can't respect out of this whole thing. But we're gonna talk more. We're gonna shift gears after this break, and we're gonna talk about this other maniac. This is ridiculous. But we're gonna get into it right after this break.
Hey, it's Dr. Sonia Javette, brand your brilliance coach and monetization strategist. I am partnering with the Fly Nubian Money Club to help you turn your natural gifts into big business. I help my clients build 6- and 7-figure businesses by branding their brilliance. That thing that comes easy to you, the thing that you can do with your eyes closed, that thing, that's your brilliance. And now it's your turn. Join me on February 22nd at 10 o'clock a.m. and I'll walk you through strategies that can change your life and business forever. Don't miss this opportunity to brand your brilliance. I'll see you in class.
That's my dog. I am so proud, and I'm so happy to know such amazingly wonderful people. This one over here just knocked it out the park with sales. Then you had Athena, and then you had me, and then you had like it's just going down. Who? I wonder who's next. This is some good shit. You guys better get on Fly Nubian Money Club, because she said she's trying to help y'all. She's trying to help y'all. She said I'm trying to save y'all. So make sure you go to flynubianmoneyclub.com so you can get all this game, so you can get saved. Like E40 said, I want to be saved. All right, let's shift gears, y'all. There's this goddamn fool out here he's a billionaire, but billionaire, but he out here acting a goddamn fool on these internets. And I know for me personally, like I like the first day he started coming out with all this really weird shit, I was reading that first and I was like, this is just too overwhelming. Let me stop. I cannot spend another moment. But what's happening is Kanye West is now selling swastika shirts. So let me ask you, Felice, when you saw that this when you saw this guy was selling swastika shirts, What was your first
Another case for shock value. Like, so everything he does is about the shock, you know. And I think that's Kanye's way of staying somewhat relevant and in the game. And so, what better way than to have your wife come out naked or to, you know, have a swastika shirt, right? So I think it's all about the shock value. And I think that if we ignore him, a lot of this stuff will stop. Like, but we give him, you know, we give into and we lean into the shock, like, but just ignore it. But, you know, hopefully there is a greater meaning behind this. I don't know what it could possibly be. But I do know that I think that Kanye is probably too isolated. I think he needs to come out and fellowship more with people. No, because I think that he's so far removed from people that he's able to stay in his own little shell and make up and conjure up these things that might not be healthy for him. And so I think that he needs to be talking to someone. I think he needs to be opening up to a professional and, you know, help him to change his course, because I think that some of this stuff he doesn't realize how it lands on people and how hurtful it could be and probably triggering to people. So that bothers me if he doesn't care about that piece.
Okay. So I think you said for shock value, I think he's in outer space. What do you say, Vanessa?
I mean, with Kanye, you know, I mean, I feel like he has all these things in his head. It's like Jekyll and Hyde and whoever else is up in there, and you never know who you're going to get. And so he has a substantial amount of money. He has all these different things going on in his head. Huh?
Voices.
Yeah, voices. Yeah, you right. Whoever they are, right? They might whoever the voice is. But I think that he doesn't really like he's going for too much attention, and he really doesn't care, you know, who he hurts. But, you know, the same way we're coming at Kanye, I feel like we need to keep that same energy for Elon, because this selective outrage when it comes to Black people doing something outlandish. And I don't agree with what Kanye is doing, by the way. I'm just saying that it's interesting that when we have an Elon doing a whole hell Hitler sign, you know, twice, nobody says anything about that. Nobody says anything about how he's trying to, you know, say that South Africa is hurting the white minorities and all this other stuff, right? He's very much so driven by a racist agenda. But we have selective outrage for Kanye, who clearly has some mental health issues, by the way. Like, it's very well known that Kanye is a little, you know, he needs some help. But we have this, everybody makes excuses when Elon does something so outrageous and symbolizing the Nazis. So that's my thing. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and bash. If we gonna bash Kanye, we need to bash Elon the same way, period.
And can I just say something real quick? That a lot of people are not going to educate themselves about the true reason why he's using the swastika. They're not going to educate themselves and find out that it's a peace symbol. They're not going to take that extra work. And so that's what I'm just saying.
Is that why he's using it?
I hope so. I hope that's the reason behind it.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you this, Miss Black Hollywood, to Vanessa's point. The Jews ain't tripping off of Elon. They don't mind taking Gaza and giving it to your man's. Elon did a whole Hitler salute and nothing. The Jews said, no, I haven't heard anything from the Jews at all. I've not heard nothing from the Jews. But the moment that Kanye did this, now he's getting dropped. What say you, Miss Black Hollywood?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know if it's selective outrage. I think we just, you know, at this point, there's so much power that Elon has, right? We can't pick on Elon. Where are we gonna take him when yesterday he was literally in a press conference speaking for the president, literally speaking for the president. So at this point, I don't know what we can do to cancel Elon Musk, because he has a whole, what did they call him yesterday? A musketeer, him and his musketeers. What can we do at this point? Like, we're outraged. We've been outraged since it happened, but
we've been talking, right? We've been
talking about it literally all the time. And so I'm not really sure what we can do about that. But with Kanye, I'm not saying let's punched down on Kanye, but I'm just thinking about where Kanye has come from, feeling like I can't be canceled. He doesn't believe that. Just his perspective, his spirit, how he's just, just been in the media talking. It's just the spirit that goes along with Kanye. These interviews that he does, it's just like it can. I don't know. I just think that he's fallen really far from where he used to be. Where it used to be like he used to advocate for the Black community, and I just don't feel like old Kanye would have done this.
Right.
The old Kanye that I first came out, that college graduate Kanye would have had just the mindfulness not to do something like this, understanding what it could be. Now once we roll the video, we can understand. We don't know what the meaning is. We don't know what his intentions are outside of just being like your president, being
Yeah.
salacious and getting ratings and people talking about him, because that's what feeds their ego.
Yeah. Well, I say two things when I think about that. Number one, Kanye has a big ego, and you remember when Barack Obama called him a jackass? Y'all remember that?
Mhm.
He said he's just a jackass.
Yeah.
Remember he went up there and he stole the limelight from Taylor Swift, and Barack Obama called him a jackass. I think that sent him like over, like, so that's why this alignment with Donald Trump is just like, a fuck you back to Barack Obama for calling him a jackass, because that probably like killed his whole life. I think just in how sensitive he is. But the other thing is, when I think about like one of our friends who was just being harassed by Kanye, and he's like, this guy is like psychotic. Like, he calls me all the time, and he's like, like, I don't think this is anything that's normal or well thought out, or he's doing it as a symbol of peace. I'm going to ask you, Joe, when we come back from this video about that, and this is Baby Sis talking about the breakdown and the real meaning. Let's see what she had to say.
Okay, so Kanye West is currently selling Swastika t-shirts, and I want to read you the definition. All right. So a swastika, it's an ancient symbol in the form of an equal arm cross with each arm continued at a right angle, used especially in South Asia as a symbol of good luck or spirituality. All right. The swastika in India is an ancient Hindu symbol. That's a way of putting it in a sentence. The second definition, a symbol in the form of a black cross with each arm bent clockwise at a right angle, used as the emblem of the German Nazi Party. A Nazi with swastikas on his sleeves, used in a sentence. So when you see this, what is Kanye West thinking? What is he trying to accomplish? I think that Kanye West, I know that he lost his mother, but I wonder, when did he lose his mind? And I say that with a lot of compassion and sincerity, because I don't think that navigating the world is easy for everyone. But I will say this, he has experienced a lot of loss. He experienced the loss of his mother. He also experienced the loss of his brother, Jay-Z. He experienced the loss of Kim Kardashian. Kanye West was I think that Kanye West has lost a lot. He's grieving continuously, but I don't believe that's going to be enough to excuse his poor behavior. I think that he believes that he is clever. I think he believes that he is so clever that, no one would know what part of the swastika, he means when he puts it out for a $20 t-shirt. But how the mind works is, here in America, this symbol is not a healthy one, and it would never be a healthy one or a sign of good luck. It's actually a sign of deep hate. So I hope that he gets the help that he needs. But mental health is real for everybody. All right.
She said that here, what it means here is, it might have meant that back then, but here, what it means here is. So Joe, like seeing this behavior and seeing him on the Grammys red carpet, and his woman, he's sitting there like, take your jacket off and show them, like all of this. What is he thinking? I know you study human behavior.
I do. And I agree with everything Madam President said about, she kind of extended some grace to him compassionately. And, but I remember the first time I heard College Dropout, and like I almost teared up. I was thinking to myself, like, wow, like hip hop will never be the same. Like, it's really, there's a savior coming. And he was spitting all that realness over those soul beats. And then all these years later, I'm looking at this man, and I can't help but to feel anything but disappointment. So I'm not in on anything Kanye's doing. I don't pay it any attention. He doesn't, he serves himself. He doesn't serve me. He doesn't serve any purpose to my community. other than to, uplift himself and antagonize people, from what I can tell. So to get behind his mind, I don't know, but I'm gonna follow in line with Madam President, and just extend him compassion and grace, and also let him know I'm tapping out. You can have it, bro.
Tapping out.
Yeah.
I need to hear what Dr. Felice. I need you. I need you to therapize this for me, sis. What? I can't hear you, sis.
There's some possible narcissistic traits laced in this. And I think a lot of ego. I think a lot of possible pain and trauma. I think it's all different layers with Kanye. I think he's a complicated individual. And I think that, he should be talking to someone. That's what I think. I think that he should allow somebody to come into his life and help him to work through those things, right? And so that, he can show up better for himself, mainly for himself. Because I think he's got a lot of layers going on, and I think he shows it and displays it to the world in ways that aren't received well. And I do believe that he's highly intelligent. And it's just so weird when you look at the comments, how we pick and choose people's brilliance. Some people can see Kendrick Lamar's brilliance, but they can't see Kanye's. Some people can see and recognize Kanye's brilliance, but they can't see Kendrick's. So it's just, it's just interesting how.
I guess it depends on where you're sitting, right?
But both these men are Black men, and they're brilliant. They really are. If you take away all the stuff, they are brilliant Black men, which speaks to who we are as a people, and that we're complicated individuals who have the ability to reach these great heights, and the power that we hold, and the messaging and what we share. And so that, if we can get back to that, if we can get back to our original state and the power that we have, and the creativity and the innovation and the things that we bring to society as a whole, I think that's where we need to concentrate on.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Thank you for that. Let me ask you this, Ms. Black Hollywood. Joe said, when I heard it, I thought, man, we got a savior in hip hop. And to see this man be a totally different person than who he was back then. And I know you've had personal interaction with him and his mom and all this. Is this a different human being than what you witnessed when his mother was alive?
Well, I didn't meet Kanye when his mother was alive. I just kind of was in sharing the same space, but I did get to meet Dr. West. And I met her at a woman's event when I first moved to Hollywood. And she was like a warm cup of your favorite whatever, like a warm cup of soup, coffee, whatever your favorite thing is. She was that. I loved her voice. I wanted her to be my mama in that moment. I was like, damn, I get it, right?
Yeah.
And immediately after she passed away, I was concerned because I just remember my interaction and me falling in love with her in that moment. Here's Kanye, who's had her all his life. Yeah. And then, just to watch Genius. He did have a 4-part documentary on Netflix that was called Genius. And when I tell you to watch the days of Kanye and his mother moving to New York and her being in the car with him trying to sell beats out of the car, him just trying to make it is really inspirational. That's where that genius that Dr. Felice is talking about that comes in. You get to see the whole play. And then at some point you see the shift. You see him becoming much more narcissistic, him becoming much more full of himself, him rambling. There was parts of it where literally the producer was like, I just had to cut because he started to ramble later on. And you just saw you saw a change, a shift in who he was. And so, I know that something mentally happened. It was a mental break because after his mom passed away, there was no grieving. He just went right back on tour. He just continued to go. And when you don't take care of yourself in those moments, I think you pay. You pay tremendously. You don't stop and say, okay, I gotta figure it out. For me, I think it catches up with you. And I don't know if he's ever stopped, y'all. And this is something, and maybe the therapist on the panel can say, when you never stop, when you don't even know how to stop, literally somebody got to take you to the 3rd floor for you to stop. What happens when you don't stop? You just become a version of what Kanye West is, being around people who are just be like, that's just Kanye. Like, what happens?
You know what, man? Before I get to that, and we got to get out of here. But I heard somebody say like Kanye West he was like that balloon that had helium in it, and he would just kind of go. And his mom would have that string, and she would be that person to just kind of pull him back. Yeah, but now the person pulling the string back down is gone. So now he's just. But Vanessa, I do want to ask you. So you love brilliance, and Dr. Flea said these are both genius Black men. These are both brilliant Black men. And you was able to, dissect and break down Kendrick. What is the meaning of this for Kanye? Because you have that, that forethought about, what does all this really mean? What is Kanye doing?
I mean, with Kanye, I do agree that he is brilliant. I think that the way that his mind thinks and the way that he moves musically and as a business entrepreneur, I think that he's brilliant, right? He's so creative. But I wonder if like a mixture of, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but in my experiences with mental illness is that as you age, it can progress and come out in different ways. So if there was some mental illness there in the beginning and his mom was kind of like that string to pull him down, and then now the mom is gone and now you're aging and to my understanding, and correct me, Dr. Felice, if I'm wrong, mental illness can show itself as you get, 30s, as you age. So I'm kind of wondering, is that kind of what happened to Kanye? I think that he's still brilliant, but when you have, and I mean, I don't know what it's like to have a mental illness. I've been around people with mental illnesses, and which is interesting is because I had a really good friend with mental illness, and she was brilliant. I mean, UPenn a brilliant, valedictorian at USC, brilliant, but she ended up having a lot of mental illnesses that kind of took her off of a lot of the things that she had worked so hard for. So when I look at Kanye, I kind of match it to that. Like, is that what happened to him? Because he seems so, like Joe was saying, he seems so far from the Kanye that we were all introduced to on College Dropout. Like, he seems like a completely different, like his value systems, his beliefs. He seems like a different person. Still brilliant in a lot of ways, but just you can't look at that Kanye and tell me that this is the same person. So
you mean to tell me, Vanessa, you can't decode this man been doing? You can't
nah,
decipher.
I think he need a doctor for that. I'm with Joe. My degrees ain't in that category, but he needs a doctor for that.
Because that's what I wanted. Like the way you was able to break down Kendrick, I wanted to see you break down. No.
I ain't got the capacity.
Okay.
There
All
you go,
right.
Dr. Felice. There she
We're
go.
gonna let the doc talk, and then Doc, go ahead and say your point, and then let's do your final thought with it. Okay.
So I don't necessarily think it's an age thing that he's aging. I just think that when you don't take care of yourself, this is what can happen. It just doesn't stay in the mental health realm. It's the physical realm too. If you've got a ache in your body and you don't take care of it, it's going to take care of it for you, right? And so I just think that him not taking care of himself and knowing that there's something there and he's not doing something proactive about it, I think that's why it's showing up the way that it is. And it's getting worse over time because he's possibly, not doing his coping skills. He's possibly not on his medication or whatever his original prescription was for what he's going through and what he needs to show up better. I just think that when you ignore something, it shows up for you instead. And so I just hope that we are able to extend grace to all of our geniuses and what they're going through. And we really don't know what a person is going through because we're not walking in their shoes. And I don't know what it's like to walk in their shoes. And so I'm going to extend grace, and I hope that he gets the help that he needs. I hope that Drake doesn't sue. I hope that he squelches it. I hope that Kendrick Lamar is able to rest at night knowing that he did a really good job. And I am Felice Hightower Britt, your Be Big Coach. That's b.big.coach on Instagram, Be Big Coach on Facebook. And, hit me up if you need any help and would like to talk.
Girl, you already know what I'm about to do. The B.big.coach. Hey, the B.big.coach. What you say? B.big.coach. Hey. I love it. So let me ask you this, Vanessa, for your final. No, you could have your final thought, whatever you want, but I want you to answer this. Is this even both of these? Is this free speech for both of them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's free speech. I think that, we live in a society with free speech where you're going to agree with some things that people say and you're not going to agree with things that people say. And that's the beauty and the curse of free speech. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it hurts you financially, but I think going back to it, when you get engaged with someone and you're going back and forth, then, I think there was a comment in here that said, Double D, you can't hit someone and then tell them how hard they can hit back. So I think we just have to remember that within the things that we promote and that we say out of our mouths and be responsible for it. My name is Vanessa Gopal. You can find me at VGopal. That's at VGOPAUL. I had a great sales class that I did this past weekend on the Fly Nubian Money Club. Listen, if you guys have not join the club. It is really amazing. There are some dope queens on there, great information. I'm also having a sales training this Sunday, so you can hit Tierra up out of the Fly Nubian Money Club and get that information as well if you want a more in-depth training. I appreciate everybody in the comments, and I hope y'all have a blessed week.
Yo, thank you, Vanessa. She said, if you don't sell, your business gon' fail. If you don't sell, your business gon' fail. Hey, you don't. All right, Joe. What are your final thoughts, my brother?
I think everyone can see it's very clear that Constance don't have no friends whatsoever.
What? Shots fired. Bang, bang.
I just want everybody to take heed of that and extend her grace too. She's doing the best she can with what she's got to deal with.
You're my friend, Joe.
I am your friend. Right. You're right. But yeah, no, mind your business, man. Extend people grace, and as we got to move forward together. That's all I got to say about that. I'm realuconsulting.com. You can see my website right there. Come book yourself a free consultation. See if it fits you. If I'm saying the things that you need to hear. I do not mix my words. I shoot at you straight, and it gets results. So come holler at me.
Thank you. Listen, we are all Black excellence on this stage, like Double A said. Deborah said she gonna help me sell my mistapes out the trunk, baby. I don't have a dog in a fight either way. I mean, it is what it is. All I'm trying to do is help Black people win, and I don't think either really contributes to the overall win of Black people. I love the fact that we're seeing some things on stage where people are finally, opening up. But I think at the end of the day, we got to get on our money, get on our business, get on our hustle, build wealth. This was a good conversation for entertainment purposes, but in terms of like our overall life, this doesn't, it ain't making or breaking us one way or the other. But I appreciate the conversation, the dialogue, and all the good things that y'all had to say. And what I did learn from Vanessa is that Kendrick is a very smart and amazing and brilliant brother, which is really good to know. And so, shout out to him. And he did his thing on the Super Bowl. But, I love us. We Black. Say Drake. I heard you like him young. All right. All right. So you listen, tomorrow, we're going to be back. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. No, 11, no, 1. And make sure that you go to Fly Nubian Money. Make sure you subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen. And we are on Spotify. So if you cannot find us or watch us live, you can go and listen to us on Spotify. Also, every time we come live, we want you to get notified. So if you want to get notified, text word Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. We're going to see you tomorrow. Same bat time. And I think we got a little Black History Month video, do we, Gwen? Same bat. So y'all stay tuned, right?
The term Uncle Tom is often misunderstood, but the real Uncle Tom, Josiah Henson, was a remarkable hero. Born into slavery in Maryland in 1789, Henson endured severe abuse, but became a preacher, leader, and abolitionist. He worked tirelessly to help enslaved people escape to freedom. Henson's autobiography inspired Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, but his legacy was distorted. Unlike the negative connotation of the term, Henson's life was marked by courage and resilience. After saving money to buy his freedom, he was betrayed by his master and nearly sold. In 1830, Henson escaped to Canada with his family, where he founded the Dawn Settlement, a safe community and school for freed slaves. Henson traveled internationally, raising funds and awareness for abolition, meeting Queen Victoria and President Lincoln. He died in 1883 at 93, leaving behind a legacy of faith, courage, and advocacy for freedom.